Everyone. Hi, everyone. Uh, okay. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. So, okay, that's it. All right, my own there. I think I am. Hi, hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. My day was fine. Thank you for asking. My day was fine. How was your day? Um, go back about an hour ish, an hour 15 minutes ago from the baby's awards night from middle school. Super proud of him. The kid that is the last born that feels like 10 kids in one. Hello, Miss Eleanor Sanctuary. How are you? How my babies doing? How my babies doing? I feel this now. Anyway, come on in, everyone. Hello, finest Shandy. My day has been well. Shout out, Shandy. There you know something. Hello, Mr. Meffel. How are you? I believe you must have received the package by now. I know my assistant was following up with you, and I'm sure everybody's excited about that. Had to receive it, Abby. Oh gosh, let me. It's my glasses. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, it was. Today we were in the 90s, and I'm like, the last I checked, summer doesn't start till June. Yeah, she was telling me that. Listen, if you know, many times I've called USPS on something that's guaranteed delivery. Let's just leave that. But today was hot. It was in the 90s, and I'm like, okay, today is April 30, so technically it's still spring. What's summer going to feel like? Like, we're gonna hear it in the sound. Anyway, hi everyone. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale. Baba Sam. I don't understand. Immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. We've got an immigration case. If it's a case type that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients in all 50 states. If you're just joining us for the first time and you just stumbled upon the page and wondering, can I think so? Well, we talk all things immigration every Tuesday and Thursdays. Well, let me say every most Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wherever else you live, time zone, you got to figure that out. Hi, Epic Movements. How are you? And we'll be glad to be part of your immigration journey. We have helped so many people. We have changed so many lives, and literally, and we are still in the business of doing that, relying solely on the grace and knowledge from God and God alone. Anyway, if you need our services, please call our office 334-341-4475. Visit our website at olalayalawfirm.com. WhatsApp the same number 334-341-4475. Hello, Miss Sabina. Hello, Miss Fumi. How are you? Please note that whoever it is that's still trying to scam people with my name is still out there. We still have to deal with someone today. So when in doubt, and we have this video on our social media platform, please make sure you know that we don't have any other, like, it's so easy to go on my website and know, okay, the number and you can find it on there, so you're not scammed by, because people are desperate because immigration, it's quite a journey. So just please be wise and do your own research. But we will be more than happy to represent you in your immigration case, whether it be a VAWA case, NIW case, asylum, citizenship, marriage-based case, employment adjustment, fiance visa, removal of conditions. We got you. So, well, if you need to talk about Tuggy, if you need to talk about your case, that was going to be the next thing. If you need to discuss with us, you've got to schedule a paid consultation. can do that easily through our website as well, or you can call our office and we'll be glad to provide you with that information. 30 minutes, 140, 45 minutes to 10, an hour to 50. Let's talk immigration, everyone. If you're just joining us, please, some ground rules. Please put your questions in the comment section. We'll try to get to the questions at the end of the day. If you repeat a question, that question will be skipped. So if you're going to be repetitive in the question, leave in the comments. It's not like I wouldn't see it, but I just will skip it so that everyone gets a chance to have the questions answered. All right, let's get right into Let's Talk Immigration. What we're talking about this evening, it is green card for nurses. So I did a video earlier today that my Kylan, who does our social media, posted. And that's because for whatever reason, I've been getting quite a number of consultations relating to people in healthcare, particularly for nurses, trying to see what is the pathway for them as far as getting the green card. And so that's what we're going to talk about this evening. Yes, please follow, like, share on all platforms. Thanks for the reminder. Subscribe to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram at Olale Immigration on all platforms. So I said, you know what? That's the video is because you can only do spend so much time in the video. But let's explain how that works for nurses. Many immigrants are in the healthcare field. Many immigrants are either nurses or IT professionals. That's what we're seeing a huge spike in. And the good thing about being a nurse is this. So if you know anyone who is going to benefit from this video, text them now. Tell them, hey, listen, you got to come over and listen now. So remember, okay, so now is the time to actually listen and get the information you need. Okay, first things first. This is a process that an employer must file on your behalf. I call it the quote unquote NIW process for nurses. But the main difference is that in national interest waivers NIW, that is a self-petition where you're not required to have a job offer, or you're filing on behalf of yourself and presenting that to USCIS. But for nurses, the main difference between NIW and nurses process, a nurse will need a U.S. employer to sponsor that immigrant visa petition. So you can't self-sponsor yourself. You can self-sponsor the petition with a Schedule A. This is specifically discussing about Schedule A occupations, what it requires for nurses. Schedule A covers nurses and professional nurses, I should say, and physical therapists, but I'm talking about nurses tonight. So what is the minimum requirement? Number one, a U.S. employer has to sponsor you. You can't self-sponsor yourself. You can self-sponsor the petition. Number two, you must be either a registered nurse or a nurse with a BS, and you've got a bachelor's degree in nursing. So either you've got the associate degree that now you're a registered nurse, or you've completed a 4-year degree in nursing, you've got BSN in nursing. That's number two. Number three, you've got to be licensed. So you've taken, you've passed as a nurse, and then you've got to take your board exams. I believe it's called NCLEX. It might come from me like, it's like, I think that's what it is. Because everyone in my family is in the healthcare field. I'm the rebel. I've always been the rebel, which life is interesting that way. My older brother is the director of nursing with master's degree is nursing. My mother's a retired nurse with, let me even brag on my mom a little bit. That woman went back to school at the age of 50 when we came to the United States, because she raised us growing up. She had to forfeit going to college. She married young. Her sister was either she goes or her sister went. And so my mom was like, okay, older sister go, I'll do mine, whatever. But she always had the dream, went back to school at the age of 50, started as a, my mom started as a CNA. Where you see her now, like, she has a story. Started as a CNA, read at the age of 50, put herself through school, became an LPN, but knowing Niger blood, that's never enough. From that, she went back to school, got her associate degree, became a registered nurse. That wasn't enough, and she went back to school and got her bachelor's degree in nursing before she finally retired. My younger sister is a nurse practitioner. So this is, healthcare is a huge need in my family. I'm just a talker, so that's why, like, and I can't stand blood. So, like, what else am I going to do? God gave me the gift of talking. So here we are. So employer has to sponsor you. You've got to have an associate degree or BSN. You've got to be licensed. You have to pass the NCLEX exam and the board exams for nursing. Once you do that, I cannot tell you how many, and I will refer people, because I've got agencies who will contact me and say, hey, by the way, if you got, nurses that you can refer to us. So because there are a lot of agencies actually are middlemen between the intended immigrants and employers. And sometimes they reach out to our firm and say, hey, there's a hospital in where my office is. I have them, broker between that hospital and immigrants. So, and those agencies will sometimes, or most of the time, connect you as a nurse to a U.S. employer. So the process is either you and you can do your research yourself. Many hospitals consistently hire. One thing about this Schedule A process for nursing is this. Generally, when you're going through employment route for your green card, the general is you have to have a job offer from a U.S. employer. They've got to do perm certification, go through Department of Labor, determine what wage they have to pay you. They've got to have that accepted and certified recruitment process, and then conduct interviews, and then have this perm certification process. Once that is certified by the Department of Labor, that's when generally an employer will start with USCIS. However, for nurses, professional nurses, RNs, BSN, because the Department of Labor has already predetermined that your occupation as a professional nurse is an occupation where there is constantly a shortage of in the United States, they have predetermined that there is no reason to go through certification by the Department of Labor, and you can do, an employer can actually file everything, the form, the Department of Labor form, the I-140 petition, if the priority date is current, the I-485, all of that directly with USCIS without having to do certification in the Department of Labor. That is a huge deal, and that's where it's very similar to a national interest waiver, because you're bypassing the whole certification from the Department of Labor. But where it differs from NIW is you need a job offer from a U.S. employer as a nurse, and the employer has to file for you. But the employer is dealing with directly with USCIS. This also is applicable even if you're not physically present or you've never been to the United States. Wherever you are, I did a consult with someone earlier today. She is hopefully she's got 3 interviews. Hopefully she matches and we can start her process. So she just took the board exam. She's passed. And so she is just excited to being able to relocate to the United States without having to come here, get out of status, trying to figure out what to do. So that brings me to the next point. Even if you're not physically present in the country, an employer can still sponsor you wherever you are, whatever country you're situated, as long as there's nothing making you inadmissible. The employer files the I-140. All the I-140s are filed with USCIS. Once that is approved, if you are physically present in the country, then you can apply for your green card based off of that. If you're not physically present in the United States, then once the petition is approved, USCIS forwards your file to the NVC for you to apply for an immigrant visa at the embassy, consulate, wherever you are. Now, does this only cover you, or will your family members also benefit? And if they benefit, what are they required to file? The good thing about and even in employment petitions, the I-140 is filed for the principal beneficiary, meaning the person who's going to be working, in this case, a nurse, right? Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Once that petition has been approved, that petition will trickle down to a spouse and under 21 unmarried children. So that petition is approved. Everyone who is an immediate relative for you, meaning your spouse and your children under the year 21 unmarried, will also become eligible to apply for the green card. If they're physically present in the United States, if they're not in the United States, everyone is outside the country. Everyone gets to apply for an immigrant visa at the same time that you apply for an immigrant visa, being the intending employee. It doesn't get better than that, right? Now, let's see. So Schedule A occupation, RNBSN, you need a U.S. employer, your family is covered. Even if you're not in the country, you're able to do that. Another question that came up in my consultation today was, okay, so this is why I moved to one country to pay. Obviously, you know, I filed for my asylum before my I-94 expired, but, you know, I'm still waiting for an interview and now have been offered a job. So what's next? Here's where it gets tricky, okay? If you are currently in the country, right, especially for those who have filed for it. Now, if you've overstayed and you don't have any status, nothing is pending, and you have overstayed for more than 180 days, you have definitely triggered at least the 3-year permanent bar. That means you're going to need a waiver of a lawful presence, have to leave the country to go consular process for immigrant visa upon approval. But if you are someone who has like a pending asylum case, right? You filed the asylum case before your I-94 expired, but you're still waiting on an interview from USCIS. There's this case law where this is what happened with this guy, that he had an employer sponsor him, or I'm not sure if it was employer sponsored, the self petition. I-140 was approved. When he filed for asylum, he was still invalid F1 status for 2 years. But because of the waiting period in asylum cases, he was out of status. The filed adjustment status, USCIS denied their case. They had to go all the way to the U.S. District Court to remand back, saying it was a technical violation. The technical violation in immigration means that the delay by USCIS is the reason why that man and his family members were out of status. That is one of those very rare unicorn kind of cases. I can tell you for the most part, and it's specifically in a circuit, so it doesn't apply the whole country. But if your file for asylum is pending, you get a job offer from an employer, that I-140 Schedule A base petition is approved. How do you adjust status to green card holder? What you're going to have to do in that situation is you're going to have your case transferred to the National Visa Center and then apply for that immigrant visa at an embassy consulate. The good thing about you filing your asylum before your I-94 expired, and if the asylum is still pending, emphasis on pending, you've not been referred to immigration court, you haven't been placed in removal proceedings. We're talking of affirmative asylum pending. What you need to do in that case is apply for an advanced parole based on your pending asylum, specifically because you've got something that is going to be in public interest, meaning you are going to be adding value to the healthcare system in the United States. It is for a specific reason, because advanced parole can only be granted for asylum seekers for a specific reason. It's got to be humanitarian, urgent need, public policy, or government interest, something very specific. In this case, your specific reason for advanced parole is because you're going to have to travel out of the country to attend the interview and apply for immigrant visa. And the advanced parole granted based on your pending asylum is your way to get back in, just in case on you're right. If we need immigrant visa, you're not going to be stuck. You cannot go back to the country you're seeking protection from. So I've got people who've gone to Mexico. I've got people who've gone to Canada just solely for the purpose of the interview. And thank God, knock on wood, knock on wood, knock on wood, they've been able to come back in with their employment-based immigrant visa. So this is a way that a lot of nurses may not even be aware that they actually can explore if you're working with in the hospital, especially in rural health. Every single state has got that place where it's medically underserved, and I can guarantee you so often. That's why many medical doctors, especially those who come on a J1, don't ever get a waiver of general waiver. No objection. No, you've got to have a specific physician waiver. That's how I got my green card, because my ex-husband is a medical doctor. So that's what brought us to rural Mississippi, like a town of 5,000 people, which was like 18 years ago. Almost past that, but I made it. Here we are. So healthcare is a huge, huge industry in the United States. We all know. If you're a nurse, take advantage of that. If you're working with a current employer, explain your situation to them. But if you need additional information, something specific to your case, contact our office. We'll be glad to evaluate your case for you and see if that's going to be an option for you and your family members, to have that direct way to immigrate to the United States. That's all she wrote. That's it. We're none here. That's all I gotta say. Okay. All right. Let's get to questions. Okay. Hello, Miss Abina. How are you? And happy new month in advance, y'all. May is tomorrow. We are let's agree in faith that our most joyful and happiest days are not behind us. They're in front of us. We haven't seen those happiest and most joyful days yet. God's got something. The more you know, God's got something in the works for each and every one of us. And may, pun intended, be the beginning of many, many joyful moments to celebrate. It's your birthday month. Yay! What about medical doctor? I'll get to the questions later. Okay, so let's start with Facebook and YouTube. Hello, hola, how are you? Africana Shege, how can nurses get a green card? Did you not hear what I said? Like for the last 20 minutes? Change it, didn't I was out taking like you're joking. Hello, Mr. Julius. I'm good. How are you? That was my dad's name. And yes, thank you. Please share, kindly share, subscribe. We very much appreciate it. Can I send evidence of abuse, psychological evaluation, and personal affidavit to Vermont CI Center without them asking? I did not send it the person. You can. If you have a lawyer helping you, then you want to go through your lawyer. If not, yes, you can. I filed I-130 457605 USCI sent biometrics appointment for my daughter 2 weeks ago, but they didn't send one for me. Is there a reason why? I cannot answer that question. Let's see. It's Arlene. How are you? Yes. So thank you, Ms. Avena. Disclaimer. Questions or responses to questions or general information. Nothing specific to anyone's case. If you need something more tailored to your case, then you've got to schedule a paid consultation. Okay. I reconciled with my first wife again after 10 years divorce while we were divorced. I got married to a citizen. I'm now a U.S. citizen, divorced again. Can I remarry my ex? So I filed for her. Okay, so you divorced your ex-wife 10 years ago, and then you married an American, and now you're citizen, and you're divorced from the American. And money first love me. Yes, short answer. Without knowing the background of your case, but generally, someone in that position generally can. Just say it. How long is it going to, anything about how processing times, please go to uscis.gov /processing time. My official. Okay. But this question, I'm just going to answer that. How long does it take for a valid case to be approved with I-45 adjustment? I didn't find the website accurate. Filed October. It's not even a year. But it takes up to 3 years. Hello, Miss Merther. What happens when an I-130 is actively being reviewed by USCIS since January 2022? I think that's what we talked about either last Tuesday or Thursday. So go on our page and review that and watch that video. That would give you the answers you're looking for, hopefully. Good evening, Emmanuel. Oh, okay. I think I know who this is. Hey, Miss Joyce. I think my assistant must have responded. And I think because I haven't heard from you guys in over a year, once it's been more than 90 days, you're going to have to schedule a new consultation. So I'm hoping she would, because I think I remember this is your brother in South Africa. I don't want to say anything beyond that. If that's him, then people are saying, to everything. That's why he's not. Don't be on my bad side. Don't cross me. Not shame you. I will forgive. I just never forget. If you forgive and forget, you're running away. No, you don't. You don't. What are you forgetting? The forgiveness is what matters. But I think I remember her telling me that, because we'll check when we talked to you last. And I think that's over a year ago. So I'm not going to go back a year ago, and he's going to have to schedule a new consultation. Where should I send my I-130 application and go on USCIS.gov website, and it will tell you where to send your application to. Is this applicable to LPN nurses? No, it's not. The LPN nurses can be sponsored for under EB3 category by an employer, but it's not covered under the Schedule A. So EB3 for LPNs will have to go through certification by the Department of Labor. He is still waiting for a response, and I'll get with Lydia. But that was going to be the response. She actually reached out to me, so that may have been, maybe she's just waiting on that. But that's going to be the response. If you want to tell him that, he's going to have to schedule a new meeting. Yeah, you can come back after a year. A whole lot has changed after a year. So if he wants to move forward, he's going to have to schedule a new meeting. Can a nurse who has a pending VA case get a green card through employment? If you're not out of status, meaning you've maintained a valid status, and pending VA doesn't give you status, because you have a pending adjustment case attached to your VA case, does not confer on you any kind of status. It just authorizes you to stay in the country. But if you do not have any valid underlying non-immigrant visa status, then it's not like you cannot qualify for green card through employment. The question is, can you file a green card application in the country? Meaning, can you adjust, or do you have to go to an embassy and apply for an immigrant visa? That would depend on if you're in valid status, because unlike a marriage-based case where you get married to a citizen and it doesn't matter how long you've overstayed, you can still adjust your status because you're exempt from that unlawful presence. Employment, there is no such an exception if you've been out of status for more than 6 months, and you have triggered that at least the 3-year permanent bar. So that's basically how that would go. Okay, let's see. Okay. Hello, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I'm good. How are you? Can you file for a child if you are on a conditional green card? Absolutely, yes. Hello, Miss 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒔𝒊𝒒𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hello, Miss Delia. Thank you. Can SIJ holders join the U.S. military? There's nothing like SIJ holders. You have an I-360 petition that's been approved, and if the person is waiting on their I-485 green card application to be adjudicated, then they've got to wait before they can join. Unscripted comment. Hey, y'all, I met here a few weeks ago, and she's so warm. Thank you. I love your hair, Queen. Thank you. Can you tell I just rebraided my hair? Whenever I rebraid my hair, you can tell my face looks smoother. And when it's like 200 weeks old, you'll notice like, Auntie, for you. I was telling you, like, I'm going to go, because there was a time I had dreads. Y'all can imagine, I had dreads one time, but my hair was much shorter then. So it's going to really fall. And I don't like anything on my face. I've got migraines. I'm just keep it off. Don't touch my face. But thank you. Must an African applicant have NCLEX before she can qualify? You have to be licensed. You've got to have the license. Without the license, you don't qualify for the Schedule A. I had my VAL interview June 2023. They said to wait a week for approval. I haven't heard back. Why? I couldn't tell you why. May I see the back of your hair? It's beautiful. I don't know if you can see the back of my hair. Let me see. See it? It's black and white all over. It's black all over. It's braided at the back. It's not the one that you use. Yeah, I learned how to braid hair in secondary school. Like if you go to boarding school, especially girls boarding school, you're gonna find you have to learn how, because someone's gonna make your hair. You gotta make somebody say. So what the one that you turn in? That's what I usually do. Okay. Asylum with deportation order, I-360 approved. What to do now, please? Find a lawyer and sit down with a lawyer and figure out how you can file a motion to reopen before, if your case was never appealed, then motion to reopen before the immigration court. If you're appealed to the BIA, then motion to reopen so you can remand back to the immigration court from the BIA. So that's what you're going to need to do. Thank you, 𝐸𝐤𝐿𝐵𝒕, for sharing. When is the best time to file a mandamus with I-130 when it's taking too long? Exactly that, when it's taking too long. Now, what is your definition of taking too long? If it's still within the normal processing time, that's not taking too long. If they tell you it's going to take 12 months and you want to file a lawsuit against them in 7 months, that doesn't make any sense. Now, if you've put in your priority date and it is way past, like they're already working cases that were filed like 250 years after yours, that's when it's time to file a mandamus. So pending asylum since 2015. I haven't heard back from them. Interested in traveling to UAE. You have to have a specific reason for why you want to travel to Dubai. Any Adam Walsh Act experience? What do you mean any Adam Walsh Act experience? What is your question on that? Okay. I've been in the United States for 24 years. Okay. And I just got my green card. Oh, wow. Am I qualified for citizenship? Based on what? Should I be worried? I got my approval letter a month ago and still haven't received my green card. Contact USCIS if it's been a month. That just contact them and see what they tell you. Let me go back. Let's see. 64. Let's see. Oh wow. 64. What has been your experience with I-693 RFE? Does that mean the interview is getting waived? That was the case a year, 2 years ish ago. We're seeing them scheduling more interviews, even much more now, in spite of an RFE for an I-693. Can I get my EAD while my VAL case is still in process? If you file a C9 category work permit based on a green card application, yes. Can I submit an I-765 work permit if I'm out of status? Based on what? Will I be inadmissible for my green card if I had my baby on a visitor visa before I lived in the U.S.? There is, unless there's no crime in you having a child here. The issue becomes if you misrepresented your intention when you came in. Is the same for CN is in a covered under Schedule A occupation. Where'd you buy your glasses? It's so cute. My optometrist here in the city I live in. It's been quite a while now, so that's I got it from there, from the optometrist office. Okay. Any advice when you won the green card lottery? Any advice regarding what? Well, the one thing I'll tell you is this: do not lie about the family members you have. A lot of people do that when they've won the lottery, and then it becomes an issue when you're applying for, or you come here and now you want to apply for the children you claim you didn't have. Because I literally had a woman placed in deportation proceedings because of that. So that can have serious consequences. That's basically the one thing I would say to make sure. When you marry someone from another country, how long does it take for them to get a green card? It depends on where they are. It depends on if they're here in the United States, if they are going to consular process in their home country, how soon you start. Obviously, you want to start, so you get yourself ready for anywhere from 1 year to about 2.5, 3 years for the whole process. Do you work on RFEs for NIWs? Yes, we do. As a green card holder, can I be able to travel? Am I able to travel to any part of the world apart from my home country? As a green card holder, why would you not travel to your home country? Did you get your green card through asylum? Only get my lossy country if I get a green card. Can a nursing home file for a CNA or file for a nurse? Absolutely. That's a U.S. employer if they have the need and the person qualifies, and the job itself is something that will be on the Schedule A and the person qualifies. Generally, yes. Okay. Thank you, Miss Akieli. TJ. Oh, Mr. Fadoja must have missed that. I don't come with your. Everybody says congratulations. Huh? Appreciate it. That email must. If you forward that email to me again, Mr. Fadoju, forward it to me again, please. Does the U.S. consulate in Lagos only approve medical emergencies to expedite for medical? I'm documenting qualified with National User Center. It's not just medical emergencies, as long as it fits within a specific ground to expedite emergencies, medical reasons, humanitarian reasons. Yeah. When I-485 shows a new card is Miss Joyce, I would have Lydia look through. My understanding was she had already emailed him. Let me email her so I don't forget. Okay, let's see. Let me email her. One second, I want to forget. Anyway, I think I can. Leah's on here. I'm just trying to make sure that she. Okay, hold on. No, because I'll probably forget. So, okay, I would send her a message just to follow up with Mr. Manuel. Okay, let's see. No. Okay. When I-485 shows a new card is being produced, what next? Hello, Miss Deanna. Basically, hopefully, fingers crossed, that means that your green card has been approved. So usually you would get, we ordered your new card. We approved your case, we produced your new card, or your new card, it was mailed, whatever it is to be. And then when you get to a point, we tell you that we mailed your new card. So after that time, after that update, you should generally receive it within 2 weeks. At least that's what we're seeing. Hello, Miss Giwa. How are you? Happy Tuesday. After receiving an EAD and traveling parole, when do you think the I-36 can be approved? Within 3 years, as USC has stated. Once again, thanks for always. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Let's see if I'm going to do this. And Mr. Bena, I have been thinking of something regarding you. If you don't hear back from me, if you don't hear from Mr. Bena, if you don't hear from me by Friday, because it's a crazy week, it's jam-packed week every day. And then I got soccer tournament on weekend. So Monday, please send me an email reminder if you don't hear back from me. That's something I want to discuss with you. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to read that status. Okay. What about doctors? So doctors do not fall within a Schedule A occupation. Doctors can either do a regular EB-2, which is have an employer sponsor you, or what's it called? Physician NIW, or a regular NIW. So doctors would generally have three options. Number one, employer sponsored. Number two, just a regular national interest waiver, or number three, physician national interest waiver option, specifically for physicians. But Schedule A doesn't cover medical doctors. Hello, Alan Gal. How are you? My day was fine. How was yours? Okay. I said God gave you the gift of talking. He did. Bible says your gift will make room for you. The Bible doesn't lie. Literally, your gift will make room for you. Find that which is your gift, and it would. That's it will make room for you. That's what you're going to, excel in. Because I knew I couldn't be quiet. From ask my mama, then nobody could shut me up since they gave birth to me. So it's like, what else can she possibly do besides talk? Okay, let's see. How long is it taking to receive VA petition receipt notices? I can only go by what we are seeing in my firm. In the last, knock on wood, in the last 4 months, 6 months, since sometime around September, we've been averaging less than 30 days to get receipt notices back on VAR cases. Mr. Brennan, we're coming to your place for the party next month. I love that you always talk about the Lord. May He favor you with new clients abundantly. Amen. Thank you, Lioness Cyril. Appreciate that. J_friend 45. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. It's a Ghana Jollof rice affair. No. Lose my invitation. Lose my invitation. Was she? Is she? Ghana Jollof rice. No. Received an EAD C31 based on VAT approval. Congratulations. I haven't received the approval letter. Is that normal? Depends on how long ago you received the EAD. They may send that to you before they send the approval letter to you. My husband and I are currently living in different states. Will it affect my citizenship application? It just occurred to me there's something. What you just said just reminded me of something. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Thanks for that. Well, it just reminded me of something. All right. Will it affect your citizenship application? Potentially, yes, because you're required to be a marital union. However, if you can show that the marital union requirement has not been broken, but there's a reason why you guys presently in different states, and one person commutes, so that every weekend, for example, someone works in another state, and the fact that you work in another state doesn't change the fact that you're in marital union, as long as you're coming home, but work is just taking you away. That will still qualify for marital union. But if you're talking of y'all have separate lives, you're living in Alabama, he's in California, you haven't seen each other in like 200 years, that's the marital union, okay? Keep your gun a fan, no. To wilderness. Let me speak English. Wilderness meal. Oh Lord, who's going to party with Ghana July first? Keep your party and your rice. My girlfriend just divorced her husband. Your girlfriend just divorced her husband. Okay. How did she become your girlfriend if the divorce just happened? Can she marry you? I mean, if she's an adult and free to marry, I guess. But okay, I'm just gonna leave it alone. It's been a year and 4 months now. I have a case like that. I told my client that she's gonna have to file a lawsuit against USCIS, but she doesn't want to. Especially when you've exhausted every option you've got, that probably is going to be your last resort, and you just have to decide that you're going to do it. So what can I do? Please tell me. I-130 said case was received, and receipt notice was sent. I-45 active being reviewed. Contact them. Ask your senator or congressperson to help you seek assistance from them to inquire about your case. If that ombudsman inquiry, if that doesn't work, you've got to send them a demand letter to the field office. If that doesn't work, you don't have any other choice but to sue them. That's what you're going to have to do. If you've exhausted every option you've got, you won't have any choice but to file a lawsuit against you. And it's not like you're going to go to court. Most of the time, just even them being served means that will make them take an action on your case. I have been approved by USCIS. I'm like 2 kids, 16 years old, and I have 2 kids that are above 18 years old. And how do I go about and how do we go about for the 2 kids that are like 20 years now? And sit down with the lawyer to discuss your case. Mm-hmm. Can you refer nurses to employers that can file? I don't connect with employers, no. Agencies may reach out to me and say, hey, if you have a nurse that is looking for a job, please send them our way, kind of thing. That's what I do. But I don't have to deal with the employers. I represent employers, but not as far as referring nurses to them. Can a green card holder file for her husband who lives outside the country? Yes, generally, yes. Vivian, you don't even need a referral. If you do a Google search, healthcare sponsorship or green card sponsorship for nurses in your area or whatever, a lot of stuff will come up, or agencies or healthcare agencies. You would have options there. Obviously, you've got to be careful and make sure you're not being scammed. Does someone with a pending asylum case have to go back to Nigeria to qualify for a green card from an employer? First of all, you can't go back to Nigeria after you have filed the asylum case. Even if you withdraw it, there's going to be that red flag. Maybe it was a frivolous application to start with, but it's not like you have to go back. It depends on what your specific status is. If you ever accrued an unlawful presence, and if you have the option of filing for an advanced parole and going to a nearby country to apply for the immigrant visa, if you don't qualify to adjust status here. Is it normal if USCIS extends prima facie for I-36? Absolutely. You're probably going to receive 4 or 5 prima facies before your case is approved. Do you do I-601 waivers? And how long does it take? Yes, we do I-601 waivers. As far as person time, everyone's case is different. So go on USCIS.gov website to put in that to get an average time that it takes. Petitioner withdrew I-130 and 45 was denied and asked to do that even though we have not divorced. You don't need to get divorced for you to file for a VAR case. Have your case evaluated. If you qualify, especially if someone withdraws a petition, that's usually a red flag for me. Then sit down with a lawyer to discuss your eligibility for a VAR case, but you don't have to be divorced to file a VAR case. Okay. Tony_876IX. You do not have to write your question 200 million times. And I think I already answered that, but if I knew you had put it there like 10 times, I would have skipped it. It's not fair to everyone else. How much is your fee? Depends on what it is that you want to do, and we discuss that in a paid consultation. Can I apply for asylum if I came into the United States with a J1 visa and did not fulfill the 2-year requirements? You can, but there are some you've got to sit down with the lawyer to understand whether or not you're doing a straight up asylum or you're doing a waiver, a hardship waiver. With that, so there's going to be more about your case. Let's see. Okay. All right, that's the same question. Facial expression in 3, 2. My sister is a registered nurse in Nigeria. She wants to market to years. How can she go about that? The first thing she has to do is sit down with a lawyer to discuss her case. Make sure she has the right requirements for that. Find an employer to sponsor her. Work with an agency. Case gets approved. Apply for a migrant visa at the embassy. Her spouse and minor children get to come along as well. Oh Lord, this is something that's trying to get some questions. Can you work on the case? I can't tell you if it's a case I'm going to work on until I've had a consultation with you. So during the consultation is when I decide if it's a case I'm going to take and what my fee will be. So if you want to go on our website, schedule one, we'll be glad to evaluate your case and discuss that. But I can't tell you whether I'm going to take your case because that's what the consultation is for, to evaluate your case and then decide if it's a case I'm going to take. So can I expedite a 14-month-old vow? Absolutely, you can if you have basis for that. Can I file for my husband and his children at the same time? If they're eligible, yes. Okay. All righty, so I think I can do another round. So we're probably just going to do questions on Thursday. Okay. Yeah, please share this video. Thank you, Miss Sabina. Okay, this person who can reconcile with his wife. Okay. What does your ex-husband do? You want me to matchmake you with him? TJ's dad is a physician. He's a medical doctor. I can No, I think he has a girlfriend, so that's not going to work. But I can be on the lookout for you. I'm not going to read this question, but my sister is in love with a younger man. He is 40 years old and she is 47. Okay. So if you're over 40, that means you're old. And what's going on? That you make sense. My sister's in love with a younger man. You made it sound like she's in love with a 20-year-old and she's 47. 7 years difference, really. Okay. I digress. And undocumented, he wants to marry and file for her. Well, USCIS is called it fraud, though I don't support her marriage. Why would he be fraud? 7 years difference. I had fiancé visas being granted for people who've got like 25, 29 years age gap. Why would 7 years be fraud? Are you calling us old? Not like, 45 and above, we're old. But there shouldn't be any red flag. My EAD was recalled because I had issues with my marriage in 2022. Applied vow, and I want to fill out the form C9 in. Okay, I'm not understanding. My EAD was recalled because I had issues with my marriage in 2022. I applied VAWA, and I want to fill out the form C9 in form C9. I don't understand your question. What kind of VAR derivative, when can a VAR derivative enter the US after the VAR approval? The person has to apply for, you've got to tell USCIS to send a copy of your file. Look, let's back up. Do you have your green card yet? If not, you have to have your green card. And then file an I-824 asking USCIS to notify the NVC that you now are a green card holder and to notify them so that a copy of your file can be transferred and your derivative can apply for their immigrant visa. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, all right, folks. I think we'll do more questions on Thursday. That's all we're going to do tonight. But it's always great company coming here and discussing immigration stuff with you guys and encouraging one another and celebrating and rejoicing. And y'all, this year is moving fast. We're almost middle of the year. And as we start this new month of May, we are going to speak things into existence. We're going to speak it before we see it. May it bring us many, many, many abundance of God's grace, many blessings. May He give us peace, joy. I miss tonight. That's fine. We're here Thursday again. May our joy know no bound. May success find us. May God's favor go before us. May we succeed in all that our hands find to do. May people who close doors in our face be the same ones to open doors in this month of May and many, many months to come. May grace overflow. Thank you, Ms. Avena. I did at the same time. May God's hand of protection be with us. May He give us promotion. May He give us protection. May He continue to be our provider. That all that our hands do, that all that our hearts can desire, all that our minds can conceive, that our hands will achieve it. And may we come together in this coming month of May. May it bring us many, many great news. May it bring us fruitfulness, abundance, joy, grace. And may we always have reasons to celebrate with one another, with our loved ones in everything that we do. May God's name alone be glorified. May all the glory return to Him each and every time. And may we fulfill all that He has called us to be on this side of heaven. In Jesus' name. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye.